Welcome to the future of trading, live with Rob. Welcome back, guys. Good to see you again. We're back, and it's D-Day. We're here. It's Thursday's live show, and today is going to be a fun day. Today, someone gets a free account. So let's go and have a look. Most traders lose money. If you're unsure, you probably shouldn't even be trading. Don't forget, nothing I say here constitutes financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. Let's take that out of the way, and let's go and have a look at the trades. Go and see what we've been doing. Hope you guys are all well. Let's see who's here. We've got very few people here, but I'm sure everyone will be here soon, and we can get on the go. I have started 1 minute early, or is it 2 minutes early? I'm not quite sure. Just remember, these videos are for entertainment only. A wee bit of fun never hurt anyone. What's the US 500 doing? The US 500 seems to be continuing its little move up. It seems to be quite happy going along this little trend support line, so that looks interesting. What happened with our trades this week? We've had an interesting week on our trades. It's been rather interesting. We've had one or two go down, one or two go up, so no big deal. But the US dollar, Japanese yen did us good on two accounts. How's it, Danny? Good to have you. Good to see you again. And the New Zealand dollar, US dollar knocked us. So let's have a look at the history for this last couple of days and just see what happened. Brent crude oil kind of went out on a trailing stop at $20, so no big deal there, almost a break even. US 500, yesterday I was feeling a bit iffy about where it was going as it was falling through here. So we sort of just closed it off. That's why we closed it off, because it was looking a bit iffy. Now it seems to be going up. We can get back into it again if we want, most likely. I took a sell on the DAX, which was against my actual only a call, and it went against me and it took me out. So we lost on that one. Trading is 50-50. And that one got taken out for a trailing stop at 182. It was put in at 250, and it went out on a trailing stop at 180. That's fine, but less. Euro, Great British Pound, sort of went out on a trailing at $10, break even. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, that was a trailing. The stop loss started at 250. It trailed up into profit, or trailed down into profit because we were short. And then it came back and took a stop loss out at 145 last night. US dollar, Japanese yen. We took the stop loss up to break even. And then it continued on up with the stop loss right up behind it over here. And it's come back and take it out at $250 profit. So, yeah, ups and downs. It's been up and down. It's been a bit of this, that, and the other. The way I see it, markets are still very unsure of the environment. People are still very unsure of the environment. And people are struggling to trade at the moment. A lot of people are just sitting on their hands, not doing anything, because one day they say the moon's made of green cheese, and the next day they say it's made of yellow cheese. It's just, you just don't know which way it's going to go. Rather interesting. So during this video, I will show you which video we're going to make the draw from. Give everyone a chance. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun today. My internet's been messing around a little bit, so I do hope it's going to stay on okay today and everything is going to be fine. But I'm pretty sure it'll be great. We'll do the draw later in the video, and then somebody is going to get themselves a weird card. Let's have a look here. Okay, so gold. Who was it that contacted me just now? I think it was David, said that gold's going into a range. I wouldn't say so much a range as, if I look at gold, it's kind of still bullish. It's gone up and it's fallen into this sort of flag pattern. Big flag pattern, let's say. And now it went bullish again, sort of coming back to take some money here. Looks like it wants to continue on up. I wouldn't really call it so much a range as it'll probably find its way up. It may have just hit one of those levels where it's tired, and people are scared to go above this 3,500 level. Nobody can believe that gold has got this expensive. So yeah, that's basically where you are. You do have a very nice support base that's developing over here on this, which is good, which is really good. And then this is still well in structure for bullish trades. So it's bullish at the moment, and there is a bit of money and liquidity lying here. So there's a good chance that this can continue on to the upside. If anything, if it is in a range, there's your top all the way up here at 3,500. And at the moment, we're a little bit down. So there's still profit to be made there. Trouble is your stop loss is going to have to be way down here, which is, unless you want to just put it below that trend support. Gold, not too bad. Still bullish. I think it's still long for now. There's a lot of people calling this thing back down to less than 2,000. I don't know when that's going to happen. Some people are calling it up to 7,000. It's a bit like me with the US 500. I'm calling this way up at 6,600 to 7,000. I got a feeling it might be able to make the 6,600 or even the 7,000 by the end of the year. Right, so if anyone's here, let me know. Say how's it? Drop a hint. We'll have a look at everything a bit later. We'll do the draws a bit later, and we'll see who gets themselves a fund your FX account. Right, let's see. My other account did quite well this morning. That actually made quite a nice profit. That did quite decent, but then it was also the US dollar, Japanese yen, and it didn't take much loss on the other ones. So but just this this New Zealand dollar, US dollar was a bit of a, where is it? Why is it not on here? New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's have a look at that trade and what happened. Yesterday I looked at this and I actually took a long trade off of here. Sort of with a view, because I had the US dollar, Japanese yen, of if the US dollar goes insane, that one of them will go right and one of them will go wrong, which is kind of what happened. But this one kind of went insanely wrong. So yeah, stop loss got taken out, went through. But you'll notice I took the stop loss out earlier, and that was actually me, I think, if I remember correctly. I didn't wait for a trailing stop to do it. I actually climbed in and said, no, this thing is not working out, and I actually closed the trade in a loss. With a view to it, it's broken through that level. It just looked dead. It carried on down quite far. It tried to recover, come back up to retest, and now it's going down again. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar is kind of looking a bit short at the moment. It's kind of looking a bit off. So that one, yeah, that trade we closed out on. We let it go. And a similar thing happened on the DAX. We went the wrong way on the DAX as well, because it was sitting on this serious resistance level. We took the short, it went long, it took us out, and then it went short, But now what you'll see is I've drawn this very, very narrow resistance level. There's a top, there's a top, there's a top. I haven't drawn a rectangle here. I've drawn a line in, because there's a clear line on top here as to what needs to be broken for this to be long. So if the DAX breaks through that, that's a pretty bullish signal. But if it falls off that, it's probably going to come back down again. But you see, as we've got this trend support running up the side here, if it breaks through that, then it's clear. If it comes down and breaks through this as well, we've got a change of structure. So I'm watching the Germany 30 very closely. Germany 40 is the same thing. I've got a 40 on the other one. The DAX, it looks good to me. It looks like a great trade. Euro US dollar. The Euro US dollar, I'm also watching closely. Euro US dollar. Okay, Euro US dollar. This is for me, a short trade below this level. I've drawn a line in here as well. Just a thin line, no big blocky, just a line, because there's a bottom here, a solid bottom. And above that bottom is a huge head and shoulders and another shoulder. That shoulder's not broken. It's broken through this trend support here, which could be moved, but still kind of broken through it. I'm waiting for this price to break through this level. If it breaks through this level, we're talking about it going all the way down to this yellow block here. So that's because you project the head down to the bottom. If it all plays out, if that breaks through that level and goes below that low, then the head and shoulders is in play as well, and it's bearish, and it's going to go all the way down to that yellow line at the bottom there. Shane. Shane, you'll never work out my time. I'm trying to confuse you all with my times, actually. No, totally. It's 2 o'clock on a Thursday on my side, GMT +2, and 11 GMT +2 on Tuesday. I'm just trying to include everyone around. Hey, David, welcome. So you guys are here. That's fantastic. So you'll all be here for the draw then. I do hope the person that wins will be here. But anyway, we'll contact them, whoever they are, and they'll be told they've won a funded challenge account from Fund Your FX, and they can email me and give me their details and get the account. So what will happen is a guy named Corey will contact them, and we'll give them the account, and they can go and play with it. It will be every Thursday, by the way, guys. So if you lose today, it doesn't mean you're not going to lose next week. So it's great. You got a chance every Thursday until they stop giving it to me. So for now, I'm giving it to you guys. I don't need it. Right. Okay. So where was I? Completely lost my train of thought there, which is normal at my age, I'm sure. So Putty Kevin's not here today. That would be useful. That would be useful. Be nice to have him on board as well. All right, I'm going to show you guys that are here which video we're going to use today. Boom, 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 boom. It'll be that one there, and we'll go there. Now I'm just going to take us to. I normally put it on the news because that's the easiest one to find. So there's the news. Okay, so great. Trump gets set to unveil a full trade deal with the UK. I guess that's going to be positive for the markets. What do you think? Fed will wait to see whether tariffs hurt the economy. That kind of statement's scary, don't you think? We'll just wait and see if we get shot. And if we get shot, we'll go to the doctor and get the bullet taken out. You know, that's kind of insane as well. We'll just wait and see what happens. Yeah, no, I love it the way these guys carry on. Oil rises after Trump flags coming trade deal. I'm waiting for oil to break through a level. I'll show you guys that now. Yes, sanctions on China. Warner Bros. Discovers misses revenue. Yeah. I was looking for something to buy this morning for my investments, and I'm wondering if Alphabet. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Bit of extra there. We'll see. Okay, because they had a bit of a pullback. Anyway, so guys, today's video that we'll do the draw on will be this one. The next 20 minutes will change your trading. It was a video that I put out on Monday. There's a lot of comments on this video, so there's a lot of chance for people to get involved. And that's why I've chosen this one as well. We'll use this random comment picker, and someone will get that challenge account today. It's from these guys, Fund Your FX. And yeah, it's the same as all the other prop firms. But if you want one of these, I have left a link in the description below for you as well. If you don't get one, and they're not bad with their price, and you get a discount and all the rest of it, go in with my link and they'll sort you out. And the winner will be contacted as well. So these guys are supplying the account for us. That'll be great. So you can have a bit of fun with it, and it's good for you to learn, especially if you are not if you haven't been trading for years and years. But even if you have, it's great. It's a great thing to have, because you've got a chance of real money, and you can play around with it and make some money with it at the end of the day, if you qualify it or pass the challenge or whatever the case, whatever you call it. So yeah, it's that's the account, and I'll contact you if you do the winning thing. Okay, so yeah. Boom, 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 boom. So the trading week, I don't know if were you here, Shane, at the beginning where we discussed what was happening on the trading week on our side. Been an interesting week. Yesterday I went long on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and we got stopped out. And then I went long on the US dollar, Japanese yen, and we made some money. And the trailing stop I took right up behind it because we're in profit, and it took that out with a nice profit. So US dollar, Japanese yen has done extremely well. So that's a nice profit. That's actually a decent one. Now we might be able to get back in again a little bit further down. Just let's have a look here. A little bit further down, I would say right about there. That looks like a good spot. That might be a good area to get back in again. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll stop here. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. See if we have some winning trades, man. You made some money on the gold shorting? David was saying it was in a range. I think it's more bullish than in a range, but gold is bullish. Shorting is a risky trade at the moment on gold. We did have the gold short further back, but now it's kind of bullish again, and it's kind of going to the long side. It's above levels. It hasn't changed structure, so it's in a bullish phase, and it's collecting some money at the moment. So it looks like it wants to go on. There is one thing that is in the picture here, that was in the picture here, was this big head and shoulders, but you see it broke the neckline. And once it breaks that neckline, the head and shoulders is negated. It is no more. It is gone. It is over. Then it's in the past. The gold hasn't really crashed. I wouldn't call it a crash. It's corrected a bit. Yeah. It crashed. Yeah, there was this correction here where it came down. I actually told you guys it was going to come down to this level, which it did. And now it's picking up this money and it's going back up again. It's just relaxing a bit. Probably take this money and carry on going. There's some people calling it for a big crash down to below 2,000. And some people are calling it up to 7,000. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't think it'll go much higher than this right now this year. I think it'll probably stay around these levels. It might drop down into the 2,000s even, most likely. Especially if the market does well, if the US 500 goes well and the DAX and all that start going up. I don't think gold's going to be the trade of the day. I think people are going to be looking at other things, different aspects in the market. Yeah, there is it's different, Shane, trading Aussie hours or my hours or US hours or whatever the case, because certain markets are closed and certain markets are open, and there's a different way of thinking because you're trading different markets. But the trading concept is the same. But for example, things like the Japanese yen will move better in your hours than certain other things. The US 500, for example, will start moving only in an hour or so's time. It's going to move slowly until they open, so to speak, and it depends what time their time is against your time, and that affects your trading hours, unless you want to trade in the middle of the night, of course. So yeah, the different time zones in the world do have an effect. So I'm out of time zone with the US and that, but I'm very close to Europe, so at least I'm not way out of time zones. I'm not way off. But if you're way off on the time zones, then especially in your case, Shane, you're probably trading closer to the China, let's say the China markets, the Japanese markets, that sort of thing, closer to your time zone, and they're affecting your markets. And what I found with the China markets and the Japanese markets is they tend to be a little bit more, let's say, volatile. I'll also say crazy. They tend to just throw things or take chances more than the US and in European markets. So yeah, it will, your market in that time zone or the movements in that time zone, particularly on Forex, will be kind of different, will be kind of strange and unusual, and yeah, it is much of a muchness, but yeah, you've got to keep that in mind. It does affect you. It's Francois here. Ah, Francois, how's it? Hey, good to have you. Good to have you on board. Here you go. Now everyone's starting to get here. Okay, so glad David's had a good week. Right, so for those of you that were not here, let's just have a wee look here. Okay. So, as you know, today's the draw for that Fund Your FX two-step challenge account. For those of you who were not here, this is the video I'm going to be drawing the comments on. The next 20 minutes will change your trading. We'll do a random comment pick later on. The rules are here. And if you want to read them, you're welcome to. The winner will contact me and give me some details down there, and then they will contact you and give you the prize. Well, giveaway, because I don't need it. Right. It's not a big deal. It's just a bit of fun. There you go. Let's see if anybody comes to fetch that today. That should be exciting. Brent crude oil should be going back up. Let's just see if it's going to go back up. Brent. There we go. I'm waiting for Brent to go through this trend resistance. I want it to go through this level, give me an indication so we can go up. It's a bit too low at the moment. Let me just move that down a bit, because that's an alert. I just want it a bit closer. If it breaks through that, then we can get long into Brent. Last time I was waiting for it, it kind of bounced off and came back down again. Didn't want to go through. I really want it to go through. Brent will be a nice trade, so I'm waiting for that. As I said, US 500, I'm now waiting for US 500 to actually break through this resistance line. You notice I've drawn a line in, not a blocky. And I'm waiting for it to break through that. And we're getting a very acute angle here from this trend support and this straight line resistance. So if it breaks through that, that's going to be quite cool. And the Germany 30's got the same. Oh, we got taken out in the Germany 30. Better sell trade, eh? Yeah. Anyway, that happens. Went back, took us out, came back. Wonderful. But now it is staying bullish. It is bullish. My mistake. Should have waited for it to break through here and go short. If it breaks through this line, it's going to be an insane long trade. That'll be quite good. New Zealand dollar, US dollar has turned short. It's broken through that level, I actually stopped out here because I took a long trade thinking it'll bounce off there, and it didn't. And the US dollar, Japanese yen, we were long all the way up to there. We did well. And I moved the stop loss right up behind it. It came back and took it out. That's a fine profit. It's at target. That's fine. And now it's starting to go long again. Might even carry on, but we're done with that trade. That trade's over. We'll see what else we can get off of that. I think it'll get to a level and then start to turn around and come back again. See how that goes. Good show. Right. And then gold. Shane, are you still short on gold, or have you given up on that one? Because it does look rather long. Looks like a long trade. Yeah. So as I say, my goal's not to make you rich. It's just to keep you competent. And hopefully it's working. And somebody said in the comments the other day, yeah, no, at least I'm consistent. I'm consistently losing. That's great. Lovely. Mission accomplished. We got to the right spot. Yeah. It's amazing how unsure people are of the market still today. People are very, very unsure. And it's because every day you get a different opinion. Something is different is happening every single day. You're just not getting that consistency in the politics and the economy, and it's insane what they're doing. And yeah, if you made 5%, that's insane. That's a really good gain. That's a fantastic gain for the day, actually. It's a bit like US dollar, Japanese yen. We did quite well on that. Not even sure what the percentage is, but we did good. We made the full profit, and yeah, it's good enough. Good enough. We don't need a lot more than that. The other account is actually nicely in profit now. Generally, how long on average are you in a trade for, Rob? Can they last for several weeks? Danny, a trade, you're gonna laugh at me. People love it when I say this, but I always say, how long is a string? And if you can tell me how long a string is, I'll tell you how long I'm in a trade for. Effectively, you keep the trade as long as you need to keep the trade. Sometimes you got the trade for an hour, 5 minutes. Sometimes you got the trade for a week. Sometimes you got the trade for a couple of months. It just depends on the trade. In general, though, and in all reality, very seldom do we end up keeping a trade longer than 2 weeks. It's unusual. Normally we in and out. So it's only my investments that I keep for 30 years. But yeah, if I look at the general average of trades, most of them are done in a day or two. Some of them a week. I mean, actually 2 weeks is actually a long time. So if that helps. But like I say, how long is a string? I'll keep a trade as long as you need to keep it. If it's working out. If it's not working out, you're going to get out of it. But, when markets are moving up and down like they are, generally you're not going to be in the trade for that long. You're going to find your way out quite quickly, one way or the other, either in a loss or in a gain. If you find yourself trying to dollar cost average or trying to move your stop losses around, then you could be in a trade forever. Forever and a day. Because that's you trying to play around with your mentality. But if you stick to the plan and you stick to the strategy and you stick to your stop loss and you kind of look for your take profit, you're not going to stay in the trade forever. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of staying in an index trade long over a weekend. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a very nervous person when it comes to staying in a trade over the weekend long, especially when I'm playing with cash. If I'm in a funded account like this, I'll take the gamble because I know my biggest loss is the account, and that's $100 or whatever you pay for it. And whereas cash, that's different, because what happens with cash accounts is, let's say you've got a $100,000 account and you take a trade in the S&P. The S&P does its thing, and you take a long trade in the S&P, and the contracts are, you've got a stop loss of say $1,000 and you're looking to make a relatively large amount of money. Monday morning, after a disaster over the weekend, you come back and the trade opens down at 3,000. It was at 6,000 and it opens at 3,000. So with leverage trading, let's say you've traded $100,000 with $10,000. With leverage trading, you've just lost that $100,000. And in some cases, the guys trade so heavy that what they'll do is they'll come back on Monday morning, and the broker will phone them and say, you only had $100,000 in your account. You owe us another $300,000 because the trade dropped that far. That's the problem with a cash account, with a leveraged cash account. If you leave it open over the weekend and something happens over the weekend, it's not just the money you've got in the account. It's not just the account you blow. They will come after you for the money that you still owe over and above on the cover. So That's why I'm very, very adverse to keeping trades over the weekend on cash accounts, because I've seen guys go bankrupt because of that. Friends, you get caught out if you're on the wrong side of the trade. And you never know when you're going to be on the wrong side of the trade. Don't think you're too clever for the market. You're not. This is why a lot of guys prefer to day trade or prefer to do the 5-minute thing, because they know it's in and out, and you're not going to be sitting on a trade over the weekend if you're doing the 5-minute thing. So that's the downside to position trading and long-term trading, is if you're leveraged and you have a cash account running, you do have to be careful on those weekends where you're holding trades. Very seldom that a short trade is going to hurt you, because, if you think about a short trade, something's going to have to go gargantuanly good over the weekend for it to hurt you. I mean, it's very seldom, if never, that's going to happen, that things are going to be so great in the world that you're going to arrive on Monday morning and your short trade's like reversed in such a manner that you owe them money. That just, no, generally doesn't happen. But the long trades are the problem, because normally when things go wrong, everyone's long because things are going well. Normally everything's going well when this happens. Everyone's happy. Everyone's buying the S&P. Everyone's buying the DAX. Everyone's buying everything. And the world is just hunky-dory. And that's normally when it happens. It's not at a time like this. At a time like this, when everybody's not sure and everybody's a little bit like concerned and nobody really knows what Trump's going to say tomorrow and that sort of thing. This is not when it happens. It happens when everybody's like really happy and everything's just going insanely well. And you're just buying, and that's when it happens. And it starts happening on a Friday afternoon, usually. Funny that every single time, it's normally a Friday afternoon. You see it start going. Your psychology can't quite believe what's happening. So you think, well, it's just a bit of a correction and everything will be all right on Monday or Tuesday. It'll turn around, it'll go the other way. It's just a bit of a correction. Nothing wrong. Because your mentality can't understand what's going on. It just can't compute that after such a good run, things are going so bad. And, it closes out on the Friday afternoon and the guys come back on Monday morning in disbelief that the Lehman Brothers bank closed, or, whatever the case. And, it hurts. It hurts a lot of people. Let me tell you something. I've always been very lucky, very fortunate. Don't ask me why with that. For some other odd reason, even with the Lehman Brothers crash and all that, I don't know why. Some other reason, I'd sold everything out and I was clean for the weekend. Monday morning came along, I was looking for buys. Sometimes you're just a lucky dude, You could have easily been caught up in it. Just strange, but yeah, one of those things. But yes, Danny, it is quite scary. A crash like that can be quite scary. And, like I always tell people, trading is difficult. Trading is a very difficult thing to do. This is not something you just do on a whim. It's not that straightforward or that easy. So, either you can or you can't. And US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let me put it on here. I don't see it on this list, so let's put it on. US dollar, Canadian dollar in the range. Is it in the range on the H4? Let's have a look on the H4. What is it? Oh, it's actually going to go long, it looks like. Looks like the US dollar, Canadian dollar wants to do the bouncy thing. That's interesting. Hey, Luigi. Good to see you. And Shane says he's usually wrong. So what you're telling me, Shane, that I should go short? No, I can't. Look at it. It looks pretty long, eh? US dollar, Canadian dollar. Should I draw some pictures on here? I'll do that. I'll draw some pictures on here so we can have a look. And later on, when everyone's here, then we'll do the wee draw thing and see who gets themselves a free challenge account. Gonna have these Thursday giveaways. That'll be fantastic. Why not? No. Okay. let's just have a look here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, let me draw some lines on here. That's always fun. Put it up to the date chart. Let me put it on a line chart. Let's see what we got. This US dollar, Canadian dollar looks really, really weird. What a strange chart. Doesn't really know where it wants to be. This must be the US government effect and the Canadian government effect. This is like weird, man. This is the strangest chart. Okay, so what we can do, we can put a support in. Let's put a main support in and just see what we get here. Looking at this. It's a bit of a main support there, so I'm going to leave that support there. That looks pretty reasonable. And then I'm going to put a main resistance in. Let's have a bit of fun. See where we are. The main resistance. Okay. So that gives us an idea where we are on the day chart. And we can go back to the 4-hour and just play around with it a bit, but that's the weirdest chart, and that's quite a space between the two. I'm just going to put it on the H4. So there you go. On the H4, let me just make this a bit lighter so that we can see what the hell is going on. Okay, on the H4, this thing has bounced in, bounced in, bounced in, bounced in, bounced out, shot out. And now it looks like, oh my, look at this. Look at that. That's a line and a half, eh? I'll just make sure you guys can see it as well. Yeah, there's a 4-hour range resistance. Breaks through that, straight up, straight long. So, yeah, that looks like a clear long above 139.05. Clear long there. I'm actually going to put a alert in around about there, because if that works, you can get a long trade out of the US. Because if you get a long trade off this US dollar, Canadian dollar over here, it's a huge long trade all the way up. So it'll be quite decent. Let's see if it can break to the upside. It looks quite good. Looks quite decent. I remember originally drawing in this trend resistance and it broke through to the side, but it's been going sideways for such a long time. It's sitting in this little range here. Ooh. Sure does need to break out of this little range, and then we can get a long trade on it and be quite good. Lately I've been on the 1 minute simply because I can read market structure. In that it makes sense to me, but higher up. Okay. So wait till 1.397. 1397. So you want to take it a bit high, but I see there is some, there's a level there. But this level, I think that level 3907 will take it. 391. I don't know if we have to go all that high, but yeah. Or you can wait for that high there. But I think these highs down here will be good enough for a good trade, to be honest with you. I think if it breaks through that level, it's been sitting at that level. This is a bit of an anomaly, this breakout over there. Been sitting along this level here. I think a break above that level is pretty decent. Let's give it a bit more there. It's not too bad, but it does need to break above it. There's an order block on the lower time frame. Okay, let's just go and have a look at that. How low do we go, Shane? Boom, 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 boom. Go down to the 15-minute. Five-minute. Funny thing, I watched a competitor's video this morning. You guys will know him. Well, I didn't watch the whole video. I watched the beginning. And that's old Nick. And his video was basically you can just take a random number counter and trade. At the end of the day, he's not wrong. He's actually right. That's why I actually saw it there and I watched it. I was like, that's quite interesting. Yeah, cool dude. But yeah, he's not far wrong actually. Not far wrong at all. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was actually Shane. I think it was Shane that introduced me to that X channel. I'm not sure. Yeah, it might have been you, Shane, that actually introduced me there to that channel. And I kind of, I like to sometimes just look at what the competitors are up to. Not the ones that are touting Lamborghinis and money and shit. They're wasting my time. I look at the guys that are out there because they've all got something to offer. And I saw his title and thumbnail and random number generator, and I thought that's quite insane, but it's quite cool and it's quite true. It's exactly what we talk about in every single video. Make more on your wins and lose less on your losses, and have a strategy, have a business plan. It's not about the lines. It's just not about the lines. And he gets it. It's not about the lines. It's just the market goes up and the market goes down. He seems to get it, and he's been around for a while. And it's just as long as you realize that there isn't a system. I noticed now, Shane, you're like talking about like an order block or this, that, or the other. That's all stuff that's irrelevant at the end of the day, but it makes you comfortable when you're trading. It makes you feel better when you're trading, that you're getting a good trade. You feel like, oh, no, I'm getting a good trade here. But yeah, it's meaningless at the end of the day. It's like me, I draw these lines in here, okay? So now I draw these lines in on this US dollar, Canadian dollar, and I feel better about taking the trade when it breaks above that resistance line, because that makes me feel more comfortable when I trade. And then I take the trade. But I could just toss a coin and choose one or two and go either way. And it really wouldn't make much difference at the end of the day. But obviously, you want to be choosing high probability, and that's the difference. Is you want to be looking at the high probability of trading, because if you're a really bad coin tosser, then you might end up choosing all the negative ones. But yeah, that said, it was actually interesting to see that, and it is true. It's quite right. There is no systems, as I've told you guys a million times, the systems are not going to make you the money at all. Systems will help you with a high probability trade, but you need the strategy, and without the strategy, there ain't no win anywhere in the setup. That's the thing. So it's a bit like the trades this week. The history, we had these two big losses, but all these small wins, okay, that's just one of those things with trailing stops. And then yesterday, the US 500, you know why I got out of that? Because I was like, is this going to go up or down now? It was breaking to the downside. And still get back in and go long. And then this was a trailing stop again. Well, yeah, it got taken out at cost. It's one of those things. But then you have a good trade. US dollar, Japanese yen went well. Yesterday, New Zealand dollar, US dollar got taken out on a trailing stop. Luckily it did. Otherwise it would have been 250. So yeah, it's okay. You want to try and make more on the wins though, and that's the big thing. These small ones, you would get those anyway. If you were just trading without a system, you'd get those small wins anyway. That doesn't really make any difference. It's just that you're looking for the big ones. That's the point. Your target is to get the bigger ones. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, no, I've seen, trade with a random number generator. It sounds great. I love it. Yeah. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Eugene, that's what I'm saying. Your US dollar, Canadian dollar. We're looking at that now. I've put an alert on it now, because I think if it goes above that resistance, it'll be good. Sometimes, guys, sometimes I draw my resistance in as a straight line because it's just such an obvious one. You know, I won't draw a million lines in. I get my main resistance area, my main support area of liquidity. But sometimes I'll draw in a resistance and say there is a high there that it keeps hitting and bouncing off. If it breaks through that, you've got a good trade. It's the same as if it breaks through a trend. And so just wait for it to break through that level and then you've got a good trade. Or as Shane says, on the lower time frames, there's an order block there or whatever, and you can pick it up. Boom, boom. David, we will hold the draw. I'm pretty sure if you've got a comment on that video, you'll be in it. And if you win, I'll let you know. Don't worry. And you don't have to stick around and wait for it. But it's for those of you who are here, you might want to because it's fun. Luigi, what's the offer you're looking at? My eyes are quite bad. Just sort of, Luigi, give me that question again. I might be a bit confused as to the question and on which one I was looking at now, because I've been going through a few of these things now. So just reiterate exactly what you want there. Shane, yeah, if you want to be part of it, Shane, you've got to play that just drop a comment in that video, man. I showed you which one it is. I'm gonna do it in the next 20 minutes, yeah. Maybe then, yeah, the next 20 minutes or so, then we'll have the draw. Okay, so yeah, you want to be in it? Monday's video, guys. US dollar CAD, thanks, Shane. I wasn't sure which one because I looked at a few of these now. And US dollar CAD H4, it's 4-hour time frame. We're trading on the 4-hour time frame. But Shane is he trades sometimes on the 1-minute time frame because he likes it. He's comfortable with it. What I find, guys, is if you want to trade on the lower time frames, just as long as you understand that 99% of people do lose on the lower time frames, you've got to have a certain kind of mindset for it. Now, one of the feelings for lower time frames is that you can go and you can start trading on the open. You'll trade for an hour, you'll make some money, and that's me for the day. And in many cases, that might work. But what normally happens is you end up losing 2 or 3 trades, and you end up sitting there the whole day watching the charts, trying to make money. Very seldom do you just trade for an hour and that's it. You always end up chasing the trades. And when you end up chasing the trades, or when you're trying to get the money back or trying to revenge it, then you start pushing for trades, and this is where the psychology goes wrong. You do have to be careful with that. If you're going to trade on the lower time frames, same strategy and business plan applies. You've got to stick to the plan. That's what makes success. If you see people like Tom Hugard, who trades on the 5-minute time frame, and you see him successful, it's because he's sticking to the same plan that we are. He's sticking to a solid, straightforward plan. And what you must understand about someone like that is they're not just willy-nilly trading. He does a lot of research in the background that people on the videos don't actually see. He researches how he's going to trade, systems that he's going to put in place, and why he trades because it's in that level or whatever the case. This is not something you can copy easily. So there's a certain psychology that goes in behind it, and they trade with a specific plan, taking those stop losses, taking those trades. It's not as easy as you think. So if you can, that's great. If you're able to do it, it's great. But understand that it's gonna be difficult. And if, like Shane, you enjoy it and it's working for you, this is great. I just got news now. US dollar, Canadian dollar climbs as traders await BOC risk report, Trump trade deal. So you see now, this US dollar, Canadian dollar, the guys are waiting for, on the fundamentals now, are waiting for the Bank of Canada risk report. And I guess that's going to play into it. So if it breaks to the upside, you've got a good long. But if it comes down again, then it's just coming back to this level again, and it's a total waste of time. Let's see what they say. Let's see what happens. Let's see what goes down. But you do have to wait for it to break up. That's why that line is there. Those lines always they read like a book. They always tell you a story. It's a funny thing. These things always tell you a story. And there's the story behind it. Now you know what the story is behind it. They're waiting for the BOC. So that's why that line is there. You know, you always think to yourself, you know, should I wait for that line? That's what it's about. No, it's not, Shane. It's for everyone. I'm going to show you which one it is, okay? And then you've all got options here. I want everyone to have the proper chance. Just going to put it over here, and I can go and show you which one I'm talking about. So Shane, it's this one over here. The next 20 minutes will change your trading. Okay, if you go to my account, you'll find it, and you can go and have a look at it. All right. So now, there you go, Shane. I hope you can see that. The next 20 minutes will change your trading. There's about quite a few comments in there. I was going to say 1 million, but I wish. Okay, because I have to use this to choose the winner. I can't just go, you win, you know. So I've got to be fair about it. Everyone's got to have a chance. Just remember, guys, this is supplied by FundualFX. And if anybody wants an account like this, there is a link for them as well. Okay, so we'll do that in about 20 minutes or so. And hopefully, Shane will find it. That's the one I'm choosing today. Okay. Now, that my face is not the thumbnail. The thumbnail is different. It's the old man. It's the cartoon thing. Well, there's 3 thumbnails on it, actually. Just look for the title, okay? Just look for the title, that's all, and then you'll find it. And the next 20 minutes will change your trading. Okay, that's the one you're looking for. That's probably the last public video, I think. I tried to make it open for everyone today. All right. Everyone gets a chance. There will be times when it'll only be on, like on a members video, that, but today I'm making sure that everybody gets a chance at it, and that's it. That's only fair. Keep looking at my clock, and my clock is broken, so luckily I got one on the computer as well. Yeah. Okay. Hey Elaine, good to have you on board. Good to see you. Yep, here we go. Right, as I said, Elaine, in about 20 minutes we'll do the draw. Okay, so I'm allowing everybody to get on board, everybody to be here, everybody to get on the bus and join us. So the US dollar Japanese yen trade wasn't too bad. That worked out quite nicely. Look at the long pull we had. That's quite nice. That was a good one. Pulled that one off. It actually brought my other account nicely up into profit. That I took a big trade. This one, I don't know why it wasn't a really big trade. It only made us $250, but it's okay. Better than nothing. Gold, I think, is going to go long now. Looks like it. Looks like it wants to take the long trade. I think everybody's waiting for news now, and the US is probably also waiting for its every Thursday news. What's it? Thursdays, non-farm payrolls. I don't even watch the news anymore. I'm not even interested anymore. Which one's non-farm payrolls? Friday or Thursday? I think Thursday. Thursday is non-farm payrolls. Big news every week. And the CPI and all this stuff. The economists like drive me insane. Okay, so US dollar, Canadian dollar, waiting for BOC, waiting for the Bank of Canada. So it'd be a good idea to wait and just see what it does. See if it does break to the upside and give you a good run. Otherwise, you're going to end up on the wrong side of the trade again. Greg, good day, mate. Good to see you again. Shane, if you fall asleep, don't worry. I'm gonna let the winner know, right? I'm gonna send them a message on the comment to message me, and then you'll be informed. Okay, don't worry. If you're not here, like David had to go. It doesn't matter. If he wins, then I'll send him a message, and he'll email me with all the details, and guys will be in contact. That's and obviously also get a chance every week, every Thursday. Okay. And it's just a 2-step challenge account, 10K, to have a bit of fun with. Get through it, pass it, get some money in. It's always good. Shane, I understand now why IG Live were laughing at me when I said gold was dropping. It was dropping huge on the 1 minute. Yeah, no, it depends what time frame you're trading on, eh? Because I mean, if you look at gold on the 4-hour, you got a totally different ball game, and there's an IG will be looking on the day, so that's even worse. So no, gold's not really going anywhere at the moment. It's just a small correction. It's still bullish. It's slow trading. If you trade with 1 minute, then you can, stay awake. If you trade on 4 hours, you won't stay awake. Yeah. Yeah, you got to, big words, crash, fall, disaster, No, it's not that bad. When you look at it in bigger perspective, it's not that bad. Sometimes when I see something taking a knock, for example, the New Zealand dollar, US dollar or something, or the US 500, whatever, I'll just take it to the weekly chart and just put myself in perspective as to what's actually happening and what it looks like. And just, it's almost like zooming out. And if you zoom out from something, it kind of helps. Unlike this picture, which is zoomed in, Away hello. Yes, hello, welcome. Good to have you on board. Kevin, how's it, Kevin? Good to have you on board. Haven't seen you for a while. Kevin, I hope you left a comment on the video. 20 minutes. In the next 20 minutes, I'll change the trading. I think that was the title. What was the title? Goodness me. Let me have a look here. Yep. 20 minutes will change your trading. Okay. That was the title. 20 minutes will change your trading. Make sure that you've left a comment on that video, Kevin. Because we're going to do the draw now in the next probably 10 minutes. Okay. So I want everyone to have a chance. And you can all have a go. We'll try and give everyone a shot to win. Okay. And then next week, we'll see which one it is. There'll be another video out. We'll see which one it is. I'll obviously won't use the same one. We'll use a different video next time. Yeah, that's why I'm giving everyone a chance, Kevin. Giving everyone a chance. Because you guys are here, so you might as well be part of it. You're on the live show, and you come to the live show every week. So stand a chance, man. Stand a chance. Get yourself in there. As I said, Shane doesn't have to stay awake. It's okay. If he wants the giveaway, I'll don't worry. The winner will get their winnings. I'm not going to take it away. You don't have to be here for it. You just have to, be able to send me some information so that I can get you your stuff. Okay. Germany 30. Yeah, it's 500. And yes, by the way, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to have done much at all, actually. All you have to do is, the only reason I want a comment, guys, is so that I've got something to play off, so I've got something I can spin the wheel off, that's all. Otherwise, it'll be sending me emails and, all this stuff and getting involved and all that. And it's so much easier if I can just pick a video and just pick all the comments and just run a spinner wheel and just pick out, whoever. So that's why we're doing it that way. I'm not trying to get more comments or anything like that. I just want you guys to stand a chance. There you go, Kevin. Well done. Perfect. Okay. My son lives in Dapto. Okay. So, when Shane and Kevin are on the live show, things perk up, man. They really get exciting. One day I must find a way to get a couple of you guys on the screen as well, and we'll try and do it together, but I'll probably have to figure it out with Zoom or something like that, or some other way. But yeah, that would be great. It's a pity YouTube doesn't allow that, don't you think? It would be great if YouTube would allow a couple of guys to get involved on screen or something. That would be quite cool. I must see how we can do that. I see the other guys do it sometimes. Somehow I'll research it. I'll just watch a couple of videos and see how that's done. Then if one or two guys are into it, we can get together and have a couple of guys on the screen and we can talk together. It would be a bit of fun. Yeah, how's it, Greg? Good to have you, man. So yeah, we'll have to have a look into it and just see how we could do that. There are a few guys out there that do that actually chat to each other online on YouTube. So like when they do a podcast, I mean, they started doing it during the times when there was lockdowns and that. And but most people were using Zoom, but Zoom's got limitations, and that's one of the big problems. For example, our live show normally runs for a couple of hours, and that's a bit of a problem because I think Zoom, I don't think it goes past an hour unless you're like heavily subscribed to them or something. So I've got to see if there's a way that we can do it so that it works, but obviously they must be using an outside program to do it because YouTube, I don't think, offers it or whatever the case. It would be great if they did, because that would be great, because then we could have one or two guys on here, not everyone, just one or two guys that are interested, one or two ladies, whatever, that want to chat. We can all chat together and see each other and stuff. That would be fantastic. That would be a bit of fun. Yeah, guys, if I can put myself out there, you can too. Seriously, look at me. So yeah, nah, it's not that difficult. But yeah, nobody that doesn't want to would have to do it. That's for sure. Some people hate the idea of even being on camera at all. So yeah, you definitely don't have to. But I'm definitely going to look at that, because I think that would be a bit of fun if we could somehow get a couple of guys on the screen as well, talking together with us and showing stuff and what have you. Another Zoom invite, then afterwards post the video on YouTube. Let me do a bit of research into it, because I see a couple of the other YouTubers do it sometimes, and they do talk to people and they talk to each other online and stuff, and that's quite a cool little thing going there. And if that can work, we'll have a look at something like that, but not as in like the one-on-ones. It's more like just a chat, just a live thing or whatever the case, and that would be great. That would be something we could do, something we could work with. So guys, the kids tell me I look like Darth Vader. No, Shane, that's because you wear a black cloak with a helmet and then you look like Darth Vader. If you take that off, then you'll look like Shane. Um, no, I don't know. I don't think that the follows will tumble. They'll probably pick up. It's me that's causing the follows to tumble, eh? Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are ready. I think we can actually perhaps do the draw just now, and let's see who wins. But yeah, you're all going to run away after I've done the draw and say, "Ah, no, it wasn't me. I didn't win," and then you're going to run away and be off. So, you know. Yeah. Do I have hair? Oh, I've got some left. It's getting thin though. It's getting thin. It's funny when you reach an old age. You get hair everywhere except on top of your head. It sort of disappears slowly but surely. Yet some guys my age don't even have grey hair. They've got like brown or blonde hair and they've got hair. And I look at that and I think, how did that happen? You know? It's just different DNA, I suppose. But yeah, I've still got some hair, yeah. It's not gone completely. Just a wee bit. All right, so we're gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna do the draw. Sir Lancelot's here. Haha. I love that name. Everyone can say the same thing, Shane. They had hair until they got married, because normally you lose your hair afterwards. It's one of those things. It's what happens. Oh gosh. So it won't put up that I'm used to the disappointment story of my life, really long. Yeah. And yeah, I've still got a wife. I don't know about you guys. Some people have had 4 wives, so I've got a friend who's had 4. Doesn't learn his lesson, does he? Anyway, yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. So we're gonna go and do the draw. Shane's wife still got her hair, yeah. Funny how women don't lose their hair. What is that, you know? Right, let's go and do this. Take it over there. Oops, let me go back to there. Here's me messing up again, hang on. Okay, that should be fine. You guys should be on that page, hopefully. I'll see how that goes. You guys will have used this video. Okay, we're gonna take everything from there. Okay, I hope you guys are ready. Okay, so someone's gonna get a giveaway of a 10K 2-step challenge account, and it's from FX. These guys here are the guys who are going to be supplying it. So what's going to happen, we're going to do the draw. We're going to take the link from that video. We're going to put it in the random comment picker, and we're going to pick a winner. And that winner is going to receive the prize. So what will happen is FX will contact you. Well, first you're going to send me an email to the email that's down here, newmarketsSX@gmail.com. Send me an email with your name, age, email address, city, country. You don't have to send me all that detail. Just send me the details, and I'll put you in contact with Corey, who'll give you your account. But you'll have to give him those details. All right. The giveaway is a 10,000 2-step challenge funded account. Entries free. All members, everyone's eligible in the draw. And we're doing the draw in the live show using the Pick a Winner website. If a cynical comment or spam bot wins, we're going to exclude them, and we're going to do a redraw, because obviously that's not great. The video I select randomly for the draw, and we've done that. Comments in the video will be on the hat for the draw. We will draw together every Thursday. The account will be supplied and handled solely by FX once per week. And I'm not responsible for the account, guys. It's between you and them at the end of the day. YouTube is in no way responsible or involved in this giveaway. Entries that do not comply to community guidelines will be disqualified. The guidelines are there, okay, in the description YouTube does not sponsor this. They got nothing to do with it. And there's a privacy notice in the description as well. So guys, that's the rules, okay? So let's do the draw and let's see who's won the account. So I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to paste it. And if you guys are ready, I'm going to do the spin. Okay, we're going to fetch the winner. Anything goes. Let's see. I am going to go and check. Pick a winner. The winner is at Joshua Born 89. So what I got to do now is just go and check if it's a decent comment. Bum, 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 bum. I've got to make sure that it's not spam comment because I can't find him here. I don't see him here. And just check here. Got a Russia Born 89. Jay. Oh, let me see if it is. Boy, Josh. I wonder if it is him. Ah, Josh Osborne, I'm here. There you go. Okay. So is this your comment? Joy Josh 5088. I'm Josh Osborne. Okay. Look, okay, you're here. That's great. Josh. I'm not even gonna look for your comment. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say here, contact me. What I'm making sure. Josh, there's the details. Okay. newmarketsSX@gmail.com. Contact me. You've won the account. Congratulations. Well done. Boom. Fantastic. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Okay. So that I can keep it on my system. Send me your details and you will be contacted by Corey and we'll definitely save as boom. Okay, just gonna save it as a capture there and I'll get it later. Okay, that's fine. All good. Perfect. So we got a winner from Funder FX. They'll contact you. Well done. Congratulations. You got a 10K two-step challenge account. That's great. That's what I like to. Sorry to all the other guys. Next time, next week, we'll have another one. Okay, we'll do it again. Really glad that someone got it. That's good news. That's always good news. And Josh, well done, man. Well done. Well done. Great. I'm glad that someone got it. I'm so happy. And don't worry, guys. Next week, we'll have another round. We'll try and do it every week, and then everyone gets an account, and you can all trade along and have a bit of fun and do the whole thing. Josh, well done. Josh, don't forget to send me that email. And once I get that, I'll be able to put you in contact with the right guy, and he'll send you your account. Okay, that'll be great. Really pleased. Oops, almost lost it there. Kevin's crying. Okay, good. Okay, so Josh has got one. Josh is the first one. Josh Osborne, that's great. I'm actually gonna write it down so that I've got your name totally. And make sure we stay in contact. This thing will be great. Cool. Tough, man. That's great. So that's our first one. And yeah, I have to put all those rules in place. Otherwise, YouTube gets excited and, they don't like you doing things like that. But it's a free entry. There's nothing you got to pay for. It's all there. And like I say, it's just easy to draw it off those comments. It's great. I just got to make sure that, that you're not a spam bot. Then you're great. Then you're in. Fingers crossed. Yeah, totally. You got that age where you got the wife thing down. Okay, that's good. It's fantastic. I'll never get that done. Never get that sorted. No. Okay, so Brent crude oil hasn't reached its area. Euro, US dollar. Nothing there. US 500. What's it going to do today, guys? What's the US 500 going to do today? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? It's so sitting on that support. It's unbelievable. But okay, small profit there. That's great. And Euro, US dollar. This is the biggie. If this goes short, it's insane. Look at this, guys. It's if it breaks through that level and heads down, it's going all the way down there. There's big money to be made on this one. Waiting for that one to go down. That'll be great. Yeah. As I told you guys, when I started trading, I only used pens and pencils. And guess what? I still use pens and pencils. I find it really difficult to have a paperless desk. And my desk is generally quite messy. And I've got things stuck over there and notes. And yeah, but I've become quite paperless. I don't have books all over the desk or anything. So there's just the computer screens, and most of it's done online. But yeah, I still need a pen, and I still need a pencil. My kids use the phone. I tell you what, I've tried making notes on that and whatnot. What's insane about the phone is it keeps all your passwords and everything. If they steal the phone and they get into that, I don't know, it's like quite crazy. Don't know what will happen there. I see the viewers are dropping off now. I see they haven't won, so going away. No, nothing to do with failing kindergarten using a pen and pencil. I wonder if kids today can still write. I got a good friend that writes the most beautiful. He writes, his handwriting is calligraphic, as they call it, or something. It's like insane. It's brilliant. But handwriting used to be a thing at school back in our day. Now, I actually wonder if people can still write. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't have the pile on the floor beside me anymore, Kevin. I stopped that one. That one, it's cleared. Mind you, there is a computer down there that I need to fix. That's a bit of a problem. Parts lying around and stuff. Yeah, that deliveries. Yeah, that I've got. But pile of books now. That's fine. There's probably a cupboard around here somewhere. If you open it, everything will come falling out and land on you. That's me. Dash it all in the cupboard. Yeah, no, totally. Don't know if you guys do that as well. How's Bitcoin? Who trades Bitcoin here? Who actually still trades Bitcoin here? Who gets involved in Bitcoin? Or Ethereum or any of these strange things? Okay, there we go. Bitcoin is really going up, eh? Look at that. Yeah, hitting the 100,000 again. There's a pincer top though. But yeah, back up to the 100,000. Bitcoin's a strange one, eh? You know, it's like owning fresh air and just looking at a chart. Bitcoin doesn't hold any value, but it still does something, so crazy. Don't know how value is determined on Bitcoin. Let's have a look, shall we? I'm going to take this out because it's worthless to me now. I'm going to draw myself a new trend line into Bitcoin just out of interest. Make it yellow. Let's see what we've got here. It's only got 2 touch points. That's okay. Let's see what it looks like. Very bullish, eh? Super bullish. Broke through that level. Going to the upside. There's something. There's something. There's an area where it might say hello. Okay, there you go. Not a big fan of Bitcoin, but there you go. Okay, Euro, US dollar. That's the one we're watching. Euro, US dollar. That's the biggie. That's the one we're watching. Actually, that's strange that BTC goes up when gold is down. Why would it do that? It's rather weird. NQ, let's have a look. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just going to find it down here. You know, if you're trading with us, you got to understand that the Nasdaq or the Tech 100 is much more volatile than the S&P 500 because you've only got the tech stocks in there. So you might as well trade the S&P 500. But if you look at it, pretty much of a muchness. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touch points. There's your trend, bullish trend. It's trending to the upside on the H4. If it breaks down, great, but it's bullish at the moment. It's a buy. It's been a buy for quite a while. And you can just keep on buying. Let me just take that one out of there. Don't need that. Okay, and of course, there's a level. Oh, the usual level. There's a demand level there of money. Comes back in there, take the money, going long. Straight up, going long. So you can just stay long on that. I don't put it on my list, on my watch list, because if you trade the S&P 500 and you trade the Dow Jones and then you try trading the Tech 100 as well, you're kind of defeating the object because you're trading pretty much the same. Okay, the Dow and the Tech is 2 different ones, but if you put the S&P into it, that absorbs them all, and it's kind of they're all going to move in the same direction. So I just use the S&P 500. I don't worry about the Nasdaq or whatever. The BlackRock ETFs actually only came in recently. It might not even have been a whole year ago. You know, BlackRock and Morgan Stanley, they brought the ETFs in, and even they've both warned that it's dangerous stuff, that it's got no value, it's got no asset value, and they don't guarantee it. They actually don't guarantee the ETF or anything. They'll stand by their trades, but if the bottom falls out, they're not guaranteeing anything. They warn you up front if you buy those ETFs that they've got no value. Interesting. Sometimes on a weekend, I think about taking a trade in BTC, but I always regret it. So I'm out of crypto. So what I do, Greg, or guys, is on the weekend, you know what I try and do on the weekend? I do go and do a bit of research, and I check what might be happening for the week, and I'll do one or two things. But most of the weekend, if I can, I'll take off. And there's a reason for that. And there's a good reason for that. You know, in the beginning when I was trading, for me it was just a 7-day-a-week thing, just constant. And I got to tell you guys that you need a break. You need to walk away from these charts. You need to walk away and let your mind relax a bit and reset. If you sit on this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're going to send yourself down into a hole. You're going to confuse yourself. You need to walk away. You need to back off a little bit. So what I do, particularly on a Saturday and a Sunday, is I'll try and take the weekend off just like I had a normal job. I will do things on the weekend, like I say, and I'll obviously do some research, and when I've got little to do, I'll maybe do a bit of a video for you guys or whatever the case. And then during the week, Wednesday morning, on day off, I take it off. I try and walk away. There's method in my madness, and it's just that you need to back off. You need to take a break, and you need to be able to walk away from this. Because if you don't, you start to entangle yourself in it. And it is addictive. And you start to entangle yourself in it so bad that you start taking heavy losses. So do yourself a favor and take a break. Okay. It's not good to sit here all the time, and it's not healthy physically or mentally. Exactly, Kevin. It's not good to be... Look, there are people out there that are forced to be stuck behind the desk, behind the chair. They have to go to work every day. They sit there all day. And I know particularly in the US, the guys have to sit there after hours. Even if they're supposed to finish at 5, it's kind of frowned upon if they go home at 5. Whereas where I'm from, if you go home, you would go home at the end of your day, whatever. But that said, I haven't worked for anyone for since I was 27, actually. But the guys that worked for me in some of our businesses, they would, if it was home time, they would be, off they go. They're gone. You're not paying them overtime. But I know in the US that the guys, like, they have to sit there. And, you know, that is very unhealthy. Just getting stuck in a rut in that same place day in, day out. You know, you need to do different things, and you need to open your mind and relax a bit and what have you. And I don't mean you have to do yoga or anything like that. It just reset your mind, because otherwise you just end up with, like they said, now brain fog. It just fogs you up, and it drives you completely crazy. Greg asked if you want to become a full-time trader, do you think that's possible? Now, yes, it's possible, because I've done it. While I do have other things keeping me going, like investments and stuff on and off, and I've had businesses in between and all the rest of it, there have been a lot of years where all I did was trade, nothing else. But to do that, you have to understand one fundamental thing. And that is, you can't do it with $1,000. You can't do it with $100, like they tell you on YouTube. That said, I'm on YouTube as well, but you need a lot of money. You need an investment to do it, which is why I've sort of warmed up to these funded accounts, because they're useful in that sense, where you can get $100,000 and they'll give you a profit share and so on and so on. And if you get your profit out, that's fine. I know they're not the greatest things since sliced bread, and I know that the odds are stacked against you, particularly in these funded accounts. But if you get your profit out, no worries. The thing is, you need to have an investment. And I say it in my videos as well. If you walk down the street and you say, I want to open a business in the high street, or I want to open a factory in the industrial area, that's an even better one. You can't do it with no money. You need either money, or you need a large contingent of investors, or a bank that likes you a lot. You need money. You can't do it without the money. Because to open that factory, you need to put a deposit down on the factory. You need the first month's rental, or you need to buy the factory, whatever the case. And then you need the equipment, you need the tools and everything that factory is going to require. And you're going to need staff. There's a whole range of things that come into the business plan there. So there's no difference between that and getting into trading, because the only way you can make a profit with trading is by having a large amount of money to trade with. So if one understands that fundamentally you need a base, you need a financial base to trade off to make that money, then you start to understand it a little bit better. That said, a lot of my money is in investments, and investments that just lie there, and I buy shares and I leave it, and I just leave it there forever. That's how Warren Buffett did it, and it works. So when it comes to that, it's a decision that you have to make. But with trading, you can make a living from trading. But like I say, you can't do it with no money. You have to have a large contingent of money, and then you can make a profit on it. Because, people tell you they'll make so much money, and you can't make 50% per month on this. You can't make 100% per month on this. You're going to average, over time, you're going to average a scenario where you're making maybe 30% per annum, okay, 25% per annum. And then you only got to work that out against your capital to work out how much you'll be making. Which is why people use leverage trading, because then if you have $100,000, you can trade $1 million, right? The problem with that as well is you can't really trade $1 million, because when you start working it out, you've got to have cover. You can't trade the whole amount, so you're actually trading about $500,000. And the problem with that as well is if you take a loss, you're losing large amounts of your $100,000. So how much are you going to trade if you've got $100,000? How much are you going to risk to make money? So yes, you can make a living out of trading, but to do it, you have to have some financial backing. So I hope that answers your question. For Mickey and Ipake. Rob, it's sunny in Scotland, so I'm going straight out after the stream, as it doesn't happen too often here. This is so true. I think once a year, you get 1 day a year of sun in Scotland. But surprisingly, as you mentioned last time, Kevin, that they've had a bit of warmth this year. Yes, trading, the one thing trading does do for you, Greg, is it makes you independent. It gives you the freedom, which is why I've had my own trading businesses, my own things going on since I was 27, because I never could work for someone. I did. I got qualified. They sent me to the colleges and varsities and all the rest of it. They gave me courses. They gave me all the nice stuff, to keep me working there. Even at one stage, at that age, they gave me 2 company cars. It was insane. They were doing everything to keep me there. I just couldn't. I couldn't see myself spending my whole life getting up every morning and going to that place and then waiting till a certain time before I could go home and do my thing and being watched and all that. So I went off and I immediately started my own business, and I took the gamble, and I borrowed money, and I got it going, and it went well. And with that money, I got into trading, and I learned to trade because people said it's a good idea. So got involved in that as well. So when I particularly sold businesses or didn't have them or whatever the case, then I was a full-time trader. Then I would just trade full-time. And then there came a time when I just carried on trading full-time forever. Just that was it. And the stuff that I've done in between is neither here nor there. Trading has always been my thing, but mostly the investing. The investing has done well for me. So Lancelot, 1 mil in funding with 2% win a month. That's my goal this year. You see, if you hold yourself to that as well, you say there, if you can make 2% per month. It's a great goal to have. But the trouble with trading is what happens when you have a month where you make minus 2%? What do you do next month? Do you now go and try and make 6%, which you probably won't? Or do you accept that you've lost 2% in that month and then just carry on trying to make 2% every other month? What's your plan with that? So I try not to hold myself to a monthly, daily, weekly target, because I know that you have bad months, you have good months. So what I do is I try and hold myself to an annual target, a yearly target. I give myself a bit more space so that I know if I lose 3 or 4 months that maybe I can win 3 or 4 months with a bit more in it. And at the end of the year, maybe I get my 10 or 20% or whatever the case. And if I don't, if I break even or I take a loss, then I write that year off as a bad year. I don't have to pay any tax because I lost money, and I move on to the next year. But it's depends on you, depends on your personality, and it depends how you feel. That's just what I do. I just find that when you hold yourself to short-term targets, and I see a month as short-term, you find yourself digging a hole. Because let's say you lose in January, you lose in February, and you lose in March, because it's a bad start to the year. Trump wins the election and you have a bad start. What do you do now for the rest of the year? Do you adjust your target over the whole year? Or do you adjust your target on a monthly basis? Because believe me, when you adjust that target, then you start getting desperate to make a win because you made a loss. So you're desperate to make a win. And now what happens is you start over trading, or you start rushing the trades, or you start forcing the trades. That becomes a problem, and then you start losing. So you don't want to force any trades. If the trades are there, you want to take them. Yesterday, I saw about 3 or 4 trades. I took them all. I lost 1 or 2. I won 1 or 2. That's just how it goes. And today, there's really nothing. All I've done is sold the US dollar, Japanese yen. So it's much of a muchness. But like I say, when you hold yourself to those short-term targets, to be very careful of getting yourself into that knot where you're trying to revenge trade it almost. You're trying to get that money back, and then you find yourself pushing too hard, and then the FOMO comes in, the fear starts to mess you around. It just becomes a nightmare. Yeah. Is Shane off to sleep? Maybe next week, Shane. Sorry, dude. Maybe next week. Better to say it's just 2% for a payout. It's not really time-based, but so far I do two in a month. Yeah. Okay. It's good that it's working. All I say is these short-term targets, if you have a losing month, what do you do the next month? That's all I say. But okay, 2%, it's a good target to have. And at 2% per month over an annual basis, what is that? It's a bit more than 20, probably 25. I don't know. But yeah, it's fair to say that you're trying to target 25 to 30% per annum on your money, which will give you an income. And hopefully you have enough money so that that can give you enough in income so you can carry on. That's the big thing. And what happens if you have a year where things don't go well and you don't make the profit? What about that? How's that year going to go? Do you have enough to cover you for the following year? That's the question as well. So there are those guys out there that are confident enough to say, well, I'll make money every single year and every single month and so on. And if you can, that's absolutely marvelous. But there are those that actually can't. Okay, Shane's very tired. Yeah, what I got to say, I'm actually gonna close it down a bit now, and we will come back in the near future. We will come back next week, and we will carry on. Okay, so see here. Yeah, try to cover 1 year before. Small account was high leverage. Yes, you're right. Try to cover 1 year forward. Aim. Yeah. Okay. And Josh has contacted me, so I'm going to reply to him. I hope Josh is still here. I'm replying to you. I'm going to forward it to Corey at Bundle FX. Hopefully I'm spelling all this right. And he will make contact with you and apply your account. Okay. Congratulations. Right. Now I think Corey's in a similar time zone to Shane. So he is most likely going to be asleep. I doubt he's going to reply to us in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, we'll get it done. As we've done before. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So I've replied to Corey. Corey, you got your reply. And we're going to sort that out for you and get your account sent to you. And you'll be on the way. So guys, I'm going to be on my way now. And hopefully you guys will stand a better chance of winning next week. And it'll all work out for you and it'll be good. And let me just see. Okay, Danny, cheers. The lunch was a nice one. Thanks, Rob. Everyone, night. Off to the sun. Enjoy the sun. And happy trading, guys. I think it's been fun. I'm just going to say thank you, everyone. And I'm going to sign off. Guys, don't forget, keep your feet on the ground, reach for the sky, and I'll see you in the next live show on Tuesday. Don't forget to watch the live videos or the other videos that I put out for you. And leave a comment. Chat soon.